What's up, dudes? Check out my hat I'm doing. It's kind of hard to see. It's variegated yarn, and it does this like swirl pattern. It's really cool. I'm just finishing it up. But Spirit wanted me to talk about what I would have advised Elon Musk with the whole MAGA thing. Because we kind of saw the demise of a good man into somebody who decides to tinker with Grok every time Grok says, "No, Daddy, you're incorrect." So personally, I believe, and I'm talking about Elon because Elon is a public figure, and I'm just going to finish this hat while I'm talking. And let's see who this message is for first. Who's this message for? He's a public figure, and we've all kind of watched his journey. So personally, I believe that man has a wounded inner child and teenager within, which goes all the way to your 20s, that he hasn't dealt with, which has allowed him in his ego to get seduced. So he created Sagittarius. He created Grok, which if you've never used Grok, it's actually pretty interesting and pretty cool how it works. And Grok is non-biased. It doesn't have emotions. It just has facts. And it was kind of the best thing he could have done for that particular business, is just let the truth be there. But where he kind of stumbled was when the truth doesn't fit Elon Musk's opinion, he'll tinker with it so it does. And the last time he tinkered with it before, it started spewing out all this Nazi stuff. And then now it talked about actual truths, but it didn't fit his Grok's creator's personal opinion. And so Elon said, "I'm sorry for this cringy answer. We're going to update this." Well, you're going to change the truth to have it fit your personal opinion? Now Grok is starting to lose credibility. The best thing Elon Musk could have done with Grok was allow it to have a dissenting opinion called the truth, even if it's with Elon Musk. "No, Daddy, you're incorrect." Can Elon handle that he has been incorrect about some things? That's the real question. He can't be right 100% of the time. He's a human being. So if I would have advised Elon during this whole thing, is to remember that he is not a politician. He's an old school engineer. And he was used. And they fed into his woundings. And so what happened was, I believe Elon Musk went into MAGA thinking he's going to be like Game of Thrones, how they say the hand to the king. He's going to be the top assistant to Donald Trump. So what Elon did was he stepped down out of his big dick energy with his own empire, put on a MAGA hat, and said, "Okay, I'm going to step down from my emperor energy, and I'm going to be the assistant hand, whatever, to this emperor over here. Now I wear the hat from this dude's empire. Yeah, bad move. Bad move. I would have said, never, ever, 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 ever wear a MAGA hat, ever. Ever. The Black Gothic Make America Great Again. Big whoop. Whoop-de-doo. Think of how much more bigger dick energy it would have been if he would have walked in with always wearing Mars is already great. Now the black, yeah, Mars is already great. Big, huge dick energy. Make America Great Again in Black Gothic. Yeah, now it's kind of limb thick. And what did they do? Did they treat him like the hand? No, they turned him into a jester. Then he became the jester. Here, Elon, wear the big MAGA hat that nobody else will wear. You wear it. Now you look like a pinhead. They turned him into a jester, used all his money, and then discarded him. Now imagine if, and what happened? He lost a whole shit ton of money. His businesses got all effed up. So I would say spiritual work for that man would be to read The Godfather again if he's read it, with the idea of this, and this is for everyone. We don't strive to be the Godfather or the Doge Father or whatever. The Godfather is an epic story about the demise of a good man into a full-blown narcissist named Michael Corleone. That's the whole lesson of The Godfather. It's the demise of a good man whose ego overtook him into a full-blown narcissist. So we don't strive to be the Godfather. No. We should learn the lesson of the Godfather. So that's what I would have advised to Elon Musk. And I think that all comes from this wounded child within and wounded teenager within, which goes all the way into your 20s. Because who wasn't at that dinner? Elon Musk. Everybody else was. No, they discarded him. Yet he's still like, this is my team. These are my people. No. They used you, chewed you up, and spit you out, and had you be a pinhead. So I think what happened is, Mega tends to stroke people's ego dicks, for lack of a better way to say it. Stroke narcissism in people. To where now, he says, when the truth, this AI that will tell the truth, when it doesn't fit somebody's personal opinion, they will change it so the truth becomes their personal opinion. Yeah, that's a lot of spiritual work that he needs to do. Because the credibility of Grok is starting to go in the shitter. Because it's now turning into Elon Musk's mouthpiece. And Elon has a wounded inner child and teenager within that is skewing what he's saying as the truth. So Elon Musk needs to learn how to surrender. When you go through the spiritual awakening, and if he's a starseed, spirit don't give a shit what your politics are. If your brain can comprehend, he will start having collapses of false reality. Doesn't mean he has to go from way right over, way back over to way left or way, no. He just has to stop tinkering with grok every time the truth doesn't match his opinion. And he needs to remember he's a human. And humans are wrong all the time. That's part of being a human. And he needs to understand these people used the shit out of him. He spent the most money, he took the most hits, and he's been shunned and discarded now. So it's if he radically accepts the truth, or if he keeps saying, I'm going to tinker with the truth until it fits my agenda that my wounded ego is in. So that would be that's my take on what happened. Now think of how much more bigger dick energy he'd be walking around with today if he had worn the hat that said, Mars is already great, and never wore a MAGA hat, and presented himself as his own emperor from his own empire that is here to assist this other emperor, but he's his own empire. No, instead he said, my own empire to the wind. I am now this person's lackey. I hear it like that. Somebody may have called someone a lackey. Yeah, it wasn't a good business move. So people can have never-ending towers until they transcend the lesson. And it's radical acceptance. So when you go through an awakening, you project what you want to see onto certain people. And I think what happened with Donald Trump and Elon Musk is sad. I think Donald Trump saw Elon Musk does not have a positive father figure in his life. And Donald Trump was like, I'll be that person. And Elon was like, Daddy? Yeah, but Elon's not a Trump. And Donald Trump discarded him when he was done with him. After destroying his businesses, spending a lot of his money. So it's up to Elon to see if he can transcend that lesson and stop tinkering with the truth and allow there to be a dissenting opinion. Especially if it's coming from AI, where you say, this tool is right on 99% of the other stuff, but this one thing that goes against my personal opinion, I'm going to tinker with it so it goes with my... Yeah, no, you're just making a mouthpiece for you. So... And remember, the last time he tinkered, it started spewing some really awful stuff. So there's some radical acceptance of the truth. So it can be very Walking Dead. When you are going, it's like the Walking Dead. When you're like, please don't let it be this. Please don't let it be this. Please don't let it be. Please don't let it be. And then you look and there's Sophia shuffling out of the barn. It's traumatic. So what happens during the awakening is projections you put upon people crumble. And you have to see them without any veils, without any projection. And a lot of times you have to admit, I was totally wrong. It's called the death of the ego. And with the death of the ego comes enlightenment. But you don't get enlightenment if you want to change reality. And that's the lesson for him to transcend. All right, well, there's a message, Sagittarius.